Hello everyone, this is Mafia Man coming at you with the Starcraft Starbattle. We have a 6-on-6 ship building action game starring Ghetto SC as a Guardian, a Ultimo as a Void Ray, Chen and Omicron both warping in as Dreadnought battle cruisers, a Colossus as a for Wildfire. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, baby, we got one more for the blue side. It's okay, we'll figure who that is. We got two frigates coming in, Wolverine and Crankshot. We got a Darth Scopa coming in as a Arbiter. He chose Electromagnetic Storm. We got Ghost jumping in as a Guardian. We have Leviathan for Blitz and Gucci Pants as a Destroyer. So we kind of have Crankshot moving in, finding out that there's way too many people around for him. He's just trying to farm. He got his backlash rockets up, so he's kind of geared towards doing damage, as he should be. He's a frigate, does damage at a distance. He upgraded to do more damage and at more range, which is pretty great. But unfortunately, he also still is a frigate. He has limitations that he can't take very much damage. We got kind of the two teams feeling each other out. We got Darth Scopa coming in. Chen went for the explosive charge, and let's see, Omicron Persei 8 did not. That's kind of a relatively newer style with going for the explosive charge. You can see them, so you can see this little guy. I mean, you just might run into it anyway. And it does have a range of effects, so you don't have to go exactly over it. So some people get a little bit too close. And if you put it in a strategic location, you're kind of denying them area. Look, you got two of them right there, so if you really want to push, you got to run the risk of taking damage. Let's see. Helveticano, there you are, buddy. Welcome into the game. He chose to be a battle cruiser. I'm not sure if he just waited until the game automatically starts you as a battle cruiser if you don't choose, or whether he chose battle cruiser strategically. Because let's look at the team composition. We got the blue team pushing them in. Woo! We got 1, 2, 3. What's it called? Tank units. We got a kind of specialist damage unit. We got a battle cruiser who's a perfect middle guy going in for the tomato cannon. I love that move. And Ultimo doing extra damage as a Void Ray. He went for Energy Nova, so if he ever gets surrounded by farm ships, he does extra damage versus those. Not necessarily a standard opener, but I think it's kind of neat. Let's see. We got one frigate doing long distance damage. We got one ghost guardian also going in for the specialist high damage. We got one tank, one support, let's call him a tank. Let's say what he is, and another long distance frigate. So the red side has kind of a slightly more balanced team, because it at least has a support unit and two tanks as opposed to a 3-tank opener, and 0 support units. So somebody like Wildfire, who is a shield tank, usually can rely on there being somebody to heal him, either a Raven or Arbiter. But they ain't got one right now, so he's just kind of on his own. He's actually pretty low on shields because you kind of start off low on shields. He went for kind of the farming build. Let's see who gets pushed back. Blitz is getting pushed back, but he's not going to really be hurt too much. He's got plenty of health left. He upgraded his range, and he's got his tentacles. He also has the ability to infield upgrade, which is pretty standard and a great idea at the moment. The Blitz, I was kind of wavering calling him a tank earlier. I believe he is. I believe that Leviathans are tanks. They can do more damage than most tanks do, and they take longer to really become tanks. So let's call them, I guess, bruisers, but they're not, they're not designed to take on 3 ships at a time. Luckily, Chen was out of range with his explosive charge and Gatling gun, so Blitz was able to just blitz through them. Omicron Persei 8 kind of using the gas as cover. We kind of have a weird lineup. We got 2 people over here for the red side, kind of by their base. Gucci Pants kind of overextending. The blue side's mostly kind of behind you, buddy. So yeah, you're at full health, but you know what? I mean, full health if you get an acid, a corrosive acid is lowers the armor of the target by 4, stacks up to 7 times, decreases movement speed by 0.05 each stack, and lasts 16 seconds. So if you get surrounded and you have armor, well look, he has 16 armor minus 16, so he has 0 armor. I can do that one. 1.61 minus 0.2 is still significant. He was able to move out of there, but it does help if you get overextended. Darth scope again, you know, Yamato right there. I held that Akano, who hasn't upgraded except for Yamato. Now that's a little bit ballsy there. I like it. He kind of went all for the tomato cannon. 125. He has 250 potential energy, but he only has 48 of it right now because he's been using his tomato cannon. But it is helping them push them back into the base. The blue side doesn't have. I mean, the only person who could drain energy is Helvet Akano, and he went all for one fancy ability with 0 other base stat beefiness upgrades. So he kind of is putting himself in debt right now. He could tech switch, but if he tech switched right now, he'd be even further in debt. So it's kind of like, you know, graduating college using student loans and then saying, hey, you know what would be great? More debt. Let's go to grad school. Why not? That'd be great. They can't make you pay if you die. You know what I mean? We got the entire blue team going back. They're kind of, in general, slower than the red team. Let's see. Crankshot. Oh, so he went for Wraiths. And Mines? Wow, he went for Mines. Now that's cute. Mines are a little bit different than an explosive charge. You can see explosive charge. They do 200 plus 1,000 to massive damage. I think you can upgrade how much that is. Mines do 100 plus 300, so less, but you can't see them, and you can shoot a lot more. So he doesn't have the minefield set up right now, but if he gets enough time and gets enough farm, then he will really just start to play tricks with the blue side, and he could do that. That's maybe why he went for so many Wraiths. The Wraiths aren't very helpful against the capital ships. Even with 5 upgrades, but they are fantastic at farming. He has enough range, so he's also being pretty decent at normal farming. And maybe he's just saying, hey, if I get like 1,000 money, let's toss it up there. And let's see, he has nearly 1,000 money. His 939 right there. Blue side saying, hey, you want to go for a warp trick? And red side saying, no, we're going to kind of retreat. There's enough blue over here that we're not happy. Gucci Pants having to run away. He has bombardment, but I hope he doesn't use it because it does channel him in that position. So it's a good offensive weapon, but it's a terrible defensive weapon. And right now we got the mines over there. Now he has them on not auto attack. You can turn them off essentially until you need them, and that's actually better. But he's sacrificing. Maybe they would have been scared away by mines. Gucci Pants is taken out by Helvet Akano. Darth Scope got to get on out of there. He does have his 2 fancy abilities. He has a 400 energy, but you know what? He also is putting himself in debt right there because he only has the phase disruptors doing some 10 damage, 3 shot. That's relatively standard. I mean, it's a big part of Starbattle to figure out when you should go the abilities, when you should not blitz. I mean, you are the tank. You are the one, remaining tank left. But you're not going to be very tanky if you're dead. He is going to be able to make it through the entire blue team. But he's going to be taking a lot of damage on the way. Maybe he made a bad turn. He might not make it if Ultimo keeps on pushing. He has 1776, and he is going to burn down, but he's very close to the base. They didn't take him out, but, if Akano used his lovely Yamato cannon, which he didn't have enough energy for, he could have been taken out of the Leviathan. Leviathan was really just out of position. He wants to get close. He wants to slap him around with his tentacles, but he's doing that at great cost to himself. Wildfire, probably really missing having any type of support, guys, I need to recharge some shields. I don't have that ability. I only have, 7. I only have the standard ones. I think he just went for, base attacks. He went for some, you know, farming. He went for some missiles. He went for some escorts, which are, you know, relatively just sort of silly. Just farming, essentially. He doesn't have any abilities, which is unusual. Omicron Persei 8 has the protective field. So right now, as far as the energy war goes, the only one playing is Darth Scopa. He has his electromagnetic storm, which has one offensive ability, but he has feedback, and nobody else can feedback him. Helvetica Kano theoretically could, but can't right now. And let's see if that goes into play. We got mines coming in. Omicron, he went through the minefield. He probably didn't see these guys, but if he made another bad turn, he probably could have been taken out. Wildfire is a shield tank without any shields. He has 5,000 health. He might have the automatic recharge, where it keeps on recharging your shields even if you're taking damage. That might not be enough to save him. The blue side tries to try to turn to save him, but they can't if they overextend, and even with Darth Scopa maybe being taken out right now as well. Wildfire has 498, 81, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, whatever. He is burning down. Darth Scopa is being attacked as well. He has 177, 77, 26. He's gone. Omicron, he is low health, and he uses his protective field. His main adversary right there was the house. I'm going to call them Tempest, but they're Sky Furies, and he will limp back to base. He has his 4 armors. He was using, so he had a 24 base armor, plus he used his protective field, which gave him an extra 50, so 24 plus 50 is 74. He was protected by there. Now look at this. Wolverine setting up so many mines, so many upgraded mines. They now do 670 damage, and you know, let's say they go down the middle, boom. Let's say they go down the stage right side, boom. Left side's okay. I mean, he only has so much energy, only so much time. So now it's a 4 versus 5. Helvetica Kano, because he went for the Yamato cannon at the very beginning, he continued on with there, which, you know, yeah, you probably should. He upgraded how much damage it does, 1975 right now, and he has enough armor to support shooting it maybe 2-3 times in a row, which is great, but he does still have to worry about his base attack. He only has lasers, just kind of to farm. Now you see right there, Crankshot has his mines off. Ghetto SC flew through a minefield, completely just flew through a minefield, is flying through it again, saying, hey, let me run away from these enemy ships into what he doesn't know are enemy mines, because they're deactivated, dismantle. You can turn them off so they're stealthy. You can then fly through them unaware. They last for a long time, I think like 10 minutes. Yeah, 600 seconds of Starcraft time. So you don't have to. You're not under any obligation to have them auto-detonate. And you usually don't want to. What you usually want to do is have them fly all the way through, and then on their retreating end, they get attacked. See, like right now, Omicron's went through them, Ultimo went through them, Ghetto went through them, and that's fine. It's not that Wolverine was doing anything wrong. He just said, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hope that they get some damage, and then hopefully my mines will finish them off. Oh, but not if he gets caught off guard. He has 1.82 speed because he upgraded speed, which is smart. He has 4 lasers, 2 shotting, some farm, but he only has 2 missiles. Now, as a frigate that's like no missiles whatsoever. Oh, Crankshot getting acid spored twice. That reduces the armor that he has. He doesn't have any, so he's doing -6 armor right now, even -12. -10 armor, but Omicron just couldn't finish him off because there was 2 ships to defend, and there was the battle station right there. Whoa! Blitz is out of position. Now he does have his own little acid spray, which does 100 plus 500 to massive of 8 seconds, and it reduces the armor by 5. Oh, and if he goes in, he can take out Ghetto because Ghetto is pretty damaged right here. But Blitz is all alone. he can't warp out, and even if he could warp out, there's people on him and attacking him, so he couldn't warp out even if he could, which you can't. Boom. But he does have 13,000 health, so he probably will survive, albeit with taking a lot of damage. Now, he does have Acid Spore, so he does extra damage. Oh, he kind of turned and said, there's everybody around me. Helveticano using that Yamato cannon twice, and he doesn't quite need it a third time because they took out the Leviathan. Let's see. Everybody's kind of moving, using the Dark Swarm. Blue team has to retreat, even though they just won. They don't want to lose after winning. Very often you can say, hey, we have a 2-ship advantage. It's 5-3 right now. We should just keep on pushing. Well, if you only have 1 life and you keep on pushing, you might get caught off guard. Omicron doesn't know that he's about to fly through a minefield. Veticano is. Garo SC is. Omicron is. Do these mines activate? No, they don't. If they did, they probably could have taken out maybe a lot of damage. There's a ping towards here. Let's see. And now we have Crankshot moving in. He still has his mines. The mines may have been upgraded further. Let's say, yeah, they're doing 910 damage, so nearly 1,000 damage each explosion. They are running out of time. It's not entirely broken, because even though you can't see them, they don't last forever, just basically forever. And you see he just splooged a bunch of extra ones, new ones over here, out of sight of Ultima. There's a Fog of War. You only see your ships on your team. You can't see the entire map. I feel like red team could have gotten a kill if they activated the mines, or at least really damaged everybody else. Oh, Crankshot's being attacked by the Void Ray, by the Omicron Destroyer. Now he's at nearly full health. Boom! Goes the dynamite. We have Ghetto SC being taken out. We have Omicron being taken out. We have more mines. They didn't see them. They didn't know about them. Boom, boom. Now the what's it called? Protective Field might have saved him and did, saved him from a damage right there. But they have to push back. We have Wolverine. Now he only has the 2 missiles, so he really is not doing very much damage. His main thing was mines, and mines aren't good as an offensive weapon. At least for a defensive weapon, they're not good when you're being chased. They're good when you have like 100 of them set up, like they just did, but don't do very much damage. Straight up engagement. Chen, he has his 9. His Gatling guns are going crazy. He has 2,000, 1,000. And then boom! Helveticano coming in with the Yamato cannon, taking out the guy who had very few missiles and mines. Now there's still mines on the from what's his name, Crankshot, and there's still ghosts. It's a 2 versus 3 situation. So we have a frigate who is a high damage dealer, and Ghost is a high damage dealer, versus a tank, a relatively rounded battle cruiser who now has the money, to support even more Yamato. So he doesn't have any missiles. He has very little upfront damage, or he has very little sustained damage. He can do upfront damage and do his Yamato cannon maybe 1, twice, 3 times, 4 times a lady, but his only main thing is Yamato. But there's nobody who can drain his energy anymore. They're saying BC gets scan. Scan is a way of detecting mines in the area. They have to be close to you, but it does work. Kind of the best thing that Chen and Omicron can do are what they've already pretty much been doing. They just can say, hey, I have a protective field that will reduce damage by abilities by a 225% of their original damage. Yes, scan should show mines, but only when you're close. Chen taking some damage. Now he upgraded his he upgraded how much health he has to 1040. You can do that. You can try to get repair bots, but you are kind of still flying blind. Let's see, Crankshot has mines. Those might not have been his. Yeah, these are still Wolverines, upgraded 9. Let's say Crankshot. These are still Wolverines. The legacy continues. Crankshot, there you are. Yours are at 17. Okay, so they're both doing 910 damage. Ghost. Hey, you know what? Nobody can drain Ghost's energy as well. So Broodlords are now coming into play. Not the most effective against high armor targets, but if you use that in combination with Ass's armor, which he doesn't have, or if you just want some sustained damage, it is a good way of doing it. Certainly helps with taking out the physical bases if nothing else. Havana Kano. Let's see. If you use a scan, it's kind of a waste. Those are actually about to time out anyway. Yeah, he uses them, but then he flies into them. So, sort of a both. I found them. I just found them by stepping on them. It's like basically how most people find their Legos. Let's see. We got the 2 sieges passing like ships in the night because they can't actually attack each other. They only attack massive ships, and they don't qualify as massive ships. So, they just kind of cutely go by each other. 2 destroyers are just nothing to sneeze at, though. Even though they can't detect mines, they're just kind of big and beefy. And these 2 can do damage, but not necessarily take it. So let's see if we see something crazy like double siege or something like that. Now you see Chen and Omicron both went for Gatling gun, which is great. Let's see. One of them actually does have siege. Yeah, Chen has siege. But they both don't really have very much laser battery. They're still at the 2-shot. So things like Broodlords add up over time. Corruptors are moving in, doing 210 damage with 10 armor. So actually, they're only taking 2 damage from this laser battery. And 6 from that, because 10 minus whatever they already had. Whether they know it or not, they're about to go into a minefield. I think they do know it. They're a little bit cautious. And whoa, there we have a siege. Now siege, however, he's taking a lot of damage because although he has the he had the protective field on, but he doesn't have it right now. It lowers the armor by a significant portion. Went from what's it called, 24. Now without it, he has minus 18. He does extra damage. He does 1290 from a fantastic 18 range, but he's taken out by Ghost because he just kept on being attacked by little things that added up over time, like the Broodlords. Hidetakano and Omicron backing on out of there. Now, that was just the right ability at the exact wrong place. Dreadnoughts are all about position. They don't do very much damage at any range. They only have, the only thing you could update their range on is laser battery. Only has 7. Sure, you can get it to like 9, 10, 11, but it'd be silly too because you only do a little bit of damage. And then we have Gatling gun, which does at 8 range, and you can upgrade that. So you have so you have to kind of be in position, and most definitely that goes into play with siege. Siege lets you do damage at a distance, but it makes you the weakest person out there. Hidetakano jumping back to base. They didn't warp out there. They're just pushing back into base. Ghost is setting up because he said, hey, my 20 upgraded Broodlords, which cost a whole bunch of money and energy, can just sit back and siege your base. Leave them alone, and they'll take out the War Prism just for you. Omicron, he has 48 standard armor, and they're still doing damage to him because they are doing 100 damage per strike, plus, let's see, oh, it's click, I couldn't click on it in time, but it probably does about 1/3 of that. Close to 1/3, maybe like 40%. Battlecruiser has scan because he needs to get scan. He doesn't have lockdown. It may help to lock down, but he can only lock down one of the two enemies. He can only lock down the frigate, not necessarily the Ghost Guardian. And Ghost Guardian is actually the one who is the most scary because he has unregulated energy. And they can't do anything about it. And Crankshot, now because he had mines, and because he upgraded them to like a pretty significant 17 doing 910 damage, he went backwards and started doing missiles again. Now, Helveticano, because he started off with Yamato and then doubled down with Yamato and then tripled down with Yamato, he has 2 missiles. Like 2. He does 74, attacking 6 times at 9 range. Versus the backlash rockets, which have been upgraded 14 times, doing 158 damage plus 9 times each at 11 range. So can they go for something crazy like a warp trick with Yamato cannon? They could. He's not going to get feedback. He's not going to get EMP. He's not going to get his energy drained. So if they get out of position, they could maybe get a really neat warp Yamato cannon 1, 2, 3 attack, and that will take out their team. But they need to coordinate. They need to work together. Omicron is all about positioning and really would just need to be in the right positioning, and that could be if you reach around to try to grab them from behind. But Crankshot says, hey, you know what, where I feel safe? Right here. I got my mines up here, got my mines back here. If you want to fight me in the middle where I can explode on either side. And Helveticano had to retreat. There wasn't a warp, and he can't really probably take them in a one-on-one fight just because backlash rockets are just so well upgraded at this point. Timing of upgrades is really important here. Ghost farming. Ghost also benefits from knowing where his team's mines are. And I think the destroyer's over here. He's being a little bit cautious because he kind of has to be. He can't see where the mines are, so his best guess about where they are is if he has been attacked in a certain area. If he hasn't been attacked, then maybe there's no mines. He could just fly over them like he's doing right now without any damage because he's not hurt. It's all about timing of mines. I used to really like playing GoldenEye and like throwing a proximity mine on my friend. This has nothing to do with that, but it was just great because they're better than time mines. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. But you can't do that. That'd be fantastic though if you could just throw these cute little mines on your friends, and after like a minute and a half, they can explode for them. Let's see. Helveticano, he has his lasers. He upgraded his Terran shields, so he has 10,000 shield life, which is good. Anything you can do to take extra damage from the broodlings is important. But he doesn't have very much armor, so once he gets through that 10,000 life, he will take damage pretty quickly. Got Crankshot moving in, being pretty cautious, to be honest. Oh, throwing away some more mines right there. Kind of having now this creep area covered, so the middle plus a little bit to the front is his domain. But what they're not doing is they're not really attacking the base. They're not pushing too far out. I think they're waiting for something like an engagement like this where they can try to bait Omicron into their attack. Now by there, I mean just Crankshots, because the Helveticano battlecruiser and the Ghost Guardian are nowhere to be found, but yeah, he's doing some damage. He's saying, oh, come on over, attack me, that'll be great. And Omicron has to get close to attack, so he does have to try to push, but he's pretty cautious. He's like, wait a second, why are you trying to make me attack here specifically? Hifeticano saying that this area is pretty safe. Whether he's been scanning or not, he scanned earlier and they didn't see anything. He probably is assuming that like it's only in the middle. You can kind of tell that just because there's no action going on the sides, really over the middle. So why do they want you in the middle? Let's see. Omicron warping on out. Now this could be great if they do catch them off guard, off Guardian, yeah? But they're not particularly close. They'd have to like go here in this area and then push them up, and if they do that, then they can do it. But I think, oh, he's just saying, let me just go for siege, and if you can protect me, I can try to take out the base. But if they detect him and they attack him, then he has he only has to rely on his protective field. Protective field usually does 50 extra armor, but if you're in siege, you pretty much only have like 1 or 2 armor. So you're only blocking 50 damage instead of an additional 50 damage, and that makes a big difference. He would normally be blocking 48 plus 50, essentially not having to worry about these broodlings, but in siege mode he certainly does have to worry about that. If you look up top, the red team has been able to farm a lot more because the blue side has had to be very cautious. It's a plus 12, minus 20 for the red side, plus 20, minus 12 for the blue side. Blue side coming in. Now, Helveticon is not only just scanning to find where they are, he's also running into them. So maybe that's why he has so much shield, because he just says, hey, you know what? The best way of finding mines is just to have them explode. Why not? He has plenty of shields. He's only taking shield damage, so yeah, he went down, 5,000 shields, but here he'll back up. And they don't have very many lasers to take out them, because the mines have 25 health. Laser battery right now is doing 16. His is doing 18. So neither of them can one-shot the mines. They have to do 2 shots. Omicron getting pushed back into the base. Not because he's super hurt, but just because he knows he can't really attack. Oh, but that turn could be lovely if he has enough speed. 1.82 versus 1.82. So actually, if he stayed on them, maybe the afterburners could have came into effect. Veticano maybe is going for a reach around. If he is able to get crank shot, that would be a really big boost to the blue team. But Ghost is over there saying, hey, you know what? Let me try to like be basically they're just, instead of a team game, this is a one-on-one versus one-on-one at the moment. So let's see. The red side's, even though they have the financial advantage, they're still being extremely cautious. Maybe a little bit too cautious. Ghost, you have like god tier brood lords. If you just set them up at the base, you can at least put pressure on them. Use the because they're siege weapons, and if you're not sieging with them, you're just kind of hanging out with them. But they also wouldn't be very defended. Veticano jumping in. He does have Yamato. He has 500 energy, and he probably updated a bunch. Yes, I think he has the ultimate ability, so it's firing faster and doing more damage than usual. So 25 damage per blast, and I think he can shoot it every second. There's almost no cooldown nowadays, and because there's no limit to energy, he actually could, if any of these people get out of position, if he can have any point where he can attack, he can keep on Yamatoing them down, doing 2,000 damage per shot pretty darn quickly. And now now the towers are being sieged upon. This is what the Broodlords are supposed to be doing. 120. Oh, come on, let's just click. Let me get a couple of cute broodlings. I can't catch them. There they are. All right, they're doing 54 damage with 125 life. Omicron, he went for the siege as well. Now, will he suffer the same fate where he's a little bit overextended? He's in a better position because he's protected by the Warp Prism, but he doesn't have anybody to protect him against little farm ships, and the little farm ships are able to do damage to a Dreadnought of all things because he has 60 health minus 45. 15. And his gas cannon is doing damage. It can attack in the area of little ships and take them out in an area, but it's not designed for that. It's designed for taking out capital ships or bases. And so Ghost is sitting back there, using his Broodlords, slowly taking out this thing, the Warp Prism. It's out of shields right now. Can he kill it? Maybe. You see how slow Omicron is. He is now in position where he can do it. Oh yeah, he had to get out of there. He's saying that the tower's taking a little bit too much damage. Over here we have a battle. Helveticano warping on out of there before Crankshack could find him. Omicron now back to doing 60 armor. What's it called? Broodlords aren't doing anything to him because he has 60 base armor and they were doing 54 damage. So he's back to being the tank that he's designed to be. Siege is very particular. It's great in the right place. It's great if protected. Now, he wasn't in the right place and he wasn't protected there. But if they get over here, if they use these rocks as covers, if they do some kind of crazy warp trick, and Helveticano can play defense, then sure, you could take him out. You could take out a base. You could take out anybody else. That's cute. The little Broodlord and Corruptor buddies were playing just scout. You can try to escape and do a cute little warp trick, but not if they see you, and they're nowhere close anyway. Going around the sides is generally a smart idea. They don't know yet, but there's only mines right here. But I think they're just cautious because they knew that the middle was mined out, or had lots of mines in it. So they're just being cautious. Oh my lord, we have backlash rockets doing 256 times 9. Yeah, he basically just tech switched back. He said, once I got my mines to 17 and they're doing 910 damage, that's enough. And he went back into his abilities. Helveticano kind of had a different idea where he said, my ability was cool, I want to use my ability. My ability is the coolest thing around. I got Tomato Cannon, and now he has Defensive Shield, and he has Nuke. Now all of those can make a difference. Oh no, Omicron, you're overextended. You're by the base. The backlash rockets are attacking both Omicron and the Warp Prism, and the Warp Prism is out of position. He says, warp to me, not be dead. But the Dreadnought has to get out of siege first in order to do that, and even with the emergency shield, he doesn't have enough. Helveticano could maybe try to do something crazy with Nuke and Defensive Shield. But now it's a 2-on-1 with the blue team base completely exposed. Not only is it not doing its repulsor beam, it's also not doing the purifier beam. We got Nuke coming in and Helveticano taken out. The Nuke did land, but it landed a little bit too late. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Press like, press subscribe. We're doing Starcraft Star Battle all the time.